Hey there, welcome to another Slightly Redneck video. Going to be doing a video on how to breed rabbits today. I've had lots of people talk about that and some questions come up about that, so I thought, well, it's time to start breeding again. Might as well just go ahead and shoot this video. Alright, so before we get started into the video itself, let's just talk about a few rules here with breeding rabbits. First of all, always take the female to the male. Don't ever take the male to the female. And we're talking about a cage setup here, of course, not a colony setup. Females can get very territorial of their cages, and it's possible that if you take the male to the female, that she could actually castrate him, or kill him, or, you know, seriously maim him either way. Another on that point as well, more than likely the male is going to be incredibly eager. The female may not be real eager to breed, so when you put them together, you want to keep a fairly close eye on them. Don't leave them together for hours on end. I'm going to talk, I expect my doe, she hasn't been bred in several months, I expect her to be a little bit reluctant, so we'll talk a little bit about how you might overcome that and how to deal with that as we go. Alright, so let me get you all situated here. I'll bring the female over to the male's cage, we'll put them together, we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. Alright, here's my male bunny here. You'll notice I've got gloves and long sleeves on because I'm going to be bringing the female over. She doesn't always like to be handled too much, doesn't like to get out of her cage, so she likes to kick a little bit, and I like to protect my arms, make sure they don't get scratched up, wear gloves in case she's in kind of a biting mood, which she's not usually, but just in case. It's also good to have because when they get to going in here, sometimes I'm going to have to break them up because you know, he's just too eager, she's not eager at all, and it's nice to have the gloves on, a little bit of extra protection to get her out of the way. I'm not too worried about him, he's friendly as can be, he's not aggressive at all, but she can get a little bit grumpy at times, especially if she's not wanting to be bred and put in the male's cage and he's all about being bred. So let me go get her and get back in there. Let me go get her and bring her over. Alright, she's a handful. Get back. Get back. Alright, what we're going to do is we're just going to put her in there. I'm going to keep a pretty close eye on him. So you can see he's eager as can be. We're going to wait till he sees if we can get a fall off on it. Not successful yet. There we go. That usually doesn't happen the first time. That fall off means a successful breed, so I'm going to leave him in there for just a little bit longer. See if he can get at least one more fall off before I take him out. She's way more cooperative than I expected her to be. This cold front must have got her in the mood. Usually after several months of not breeding, she's real reluctant. She's not going to let him mate, let him breed. And what I'll usually do in that situation, if that's the case, is I'll give him maybe 5-10 minutes. If she starts getting real grumpy with him, I'll move her out. And then I'll bring her back in the next day, or later that evening or the next morning or whatever. Try again, and usually by about the second, third time, she's more than willing to let him breed. Now, rabbits don't go into heat like other animals do, but they pretty much just become receptive. So the whole idea of the act of breeding itself is what makes them receptive for it. So there's not really much you have to look for, but sometimes it takes 1 or 2 attempts for her to kind of get in the mood, so to speak, and it may take a couple of days to get that to happen. And you can see there's a little bit of grumpiness from her right there. That's the kind of thing I'm going to be watching for. If she keeps that up, I'm going to have to pull her out of there, but I'd like to see him get at least one more good attempt before I do that. I always like to have 2 fall-offs just to ensure she's pregnant. A lot of times what people will do as well is once they've bred them like this, they'll bring them back in the next day and try one more time to get one more fall-off just to ensure it. I've never really found that necessary, but she's sure acting like she doesn't want to have anything more to do with him, so I may have to go ahead and get them separated. Oh, she didn't want to have anything to do with me either. That's why yep. Easy, easy, easy. That's why you wear gloves and long sleeves. Calm down, calm down. Calm down, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Come on. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You want to go back home? Well, maybe she'll let him breed again after all. We'll see. And it looks like she's being receptive. We got another fall off, so I know that was probably hard to see from the camera angle. They're behind the feeder, but one more successful fall off. I'm happy with that. 2 fall offs usually means she's gonna have babies here in about 28 days. So, all right, let's go back home. Let's go back home. Come on, come on. Now with this doe, she's, you'll notice I scruff her on the neck. I don't pick her up by the scruff of the neck. I just grab a hold of her. That kind of keeps her still. Fold her up a little bit, keep her butt up in the air, support her with that, pick her up with that hand so I don't hurt her too much. She's just a little bit wild and rowdy, so if I don't do this, I'll never get a hold of her. Put her up real quick. All right, so that's really about all there is to breeding rabbits. Generally, your buck's just incredibly eager, ready to go. The females are the ones you got to watch for. They're not always as willing or receptive, I should say. But we had a couple of successful fall-offs here, so I'm going to count that as successful breeding. We'll just mark the calendar. We'll put the nest box in when it comes time, and hopefully we have some successful kindling. More than likely we will. So I'll give you an update on that as that occurs. And in the meantime, if you need some further videos on how to build nest boxes or any of that kind of stuff, I'll put a link up here to some of my videos on those topics there. Let me know if you have questions. Thank you for watching, and as always, God bless.